Who is the character on the cover page? It cannot be one of the commanders, even though the text says The Tales of Self-Proclaimed Straw Hat Grand Fleet, Volume 42. Based on how he looks, this guy could be Bellamy, but Bellamy is not part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. He specifically said this to Luffy, but he took a piece of his favorite card. But the text in this cover page is a little bit different than the other ones. Oda's added the words, side story. And maybe he did that because Bellamy is not part of the Grand Fleet, but he wanted to show a little bit about him as well, since he was part of the Dressrosa arc as well together with the others. And since he took a piece of Luffy's favorite card, this means that we will see him again. But there is another possibility. The character on the cover page could be a new character, and that's why Oda is not showing us his face. Because if this was a character that we know, then what's the point of being mysterious? So this character could join the Straw Hat Grand Fleet in the future. But what do you guys think? Who is this character? Anyway, Tama is back to normal, she is on her feet and smiling. Zoro is surprised. Otsuru says that the poison has been removed from her body. But what did cause her to faint, it was not just the poison, but also the fact that she has not eaten properly for so long. The scene where her stomach growls and she runs away and saying, "It's a warrior's shame, a warrior's shame." This was very funny. Even though she is so young, she is so strict with herself. And then we see Zoro being taken care of by his mommy. I did not realize in the previous chapter that she was this big. Zoro says to her, "You are a huge woman." And Luffy says, "Big Mom was bigger." This was very shocking, because the Straw Hats never talk with each other in a normal way. And I was really happy when I read what Luffy said, but my happiness did not last long, because Zoro pretended that he did not hear Luffy. I wish one day we will get to read a normal conversation between them like real friends do, and not always the generic and cliché stuff. They only talk when something extreme is about to happen, otherwise they don't pay attention to each other. When nothing bad is happening, Luffy sits in front of the ship alone, Robin reads books, Nami is getting a tan, Sanji is preparing food and screaming the names of Nami and Robin, Brook is singing and asking someone to see their panties, Frankie is building something and Usopp is lying to Chopper. This generic formula is used all the time. It would be a breath of fresh air if once in a while this formula would be broken, and they will take a real interest in each other since they are saying that they are friends. Here's an example. Luffy saying to Zoro, "Hey man, I know you're the longest of anyone here, but I don't know anything about you. Where are you from? And is your family alive?" Ordinary stuff like this, but it seems like this will never happen in One Piece, which is a shame. The main characters are great. They are so different from one another. Oda could come up with great dialogues, but he is not using them, except in a superficial way. Which is too bad that Oda is not showing this to us, even though they are the main characters, we rarely get to see what they are thinking or how they see the world, and things that are happening right now. I really wish Oda would put the story first, and not the other stuff. Anyway, if Luffy did continue to talk, we would learn what he thinks about Big Mom as a person and how strong she is. Since in Wano we are dealing with another Yonko, it would be interesting to see what does Luffy think about his experience in Whole Cake Island. I wonder if Zoro knows how big Kaido is. Big Mom is 8 meters tall, Kaido is 12 meters tall. Otsuru offers Tama food to eat, but she refuses and says, "I cannot, especially since you and Okiku probably had not had a full stomach in ages." I was wondering why the people around Tama are leaving her to starve, especially her master. But in this chapter we got the answer to that question. They are all starving and not just Tama. Otsuru reveals a little bit the history of Wano. She said 20 years ago Oden was ruling Wano. Since everyone was calling Oden Lord, I thought maybe he's just one of the lords in Wano. But after Orochi took over and became the king, Oden was relegated to a lower status. It is safe to assume that Orochi did manage to take over Wano with the help of Kaido, because otherwise I don't see how he could have done that, considering how good Oden was to the people of Wano. When Otsuru did mention Oden, Zoro was wondering if she is talking about the Oden that they know. But just look at what Luffy is doing. If you did not understand what I said earlier about the Straw Hats, this panel is a good example. Why Luffy is not acting normal here? Unless he has a memory problem, what's the point? In Zou, where Momonosuke did ask Luffy to join hands to avenge his parents, that was a very important moment and Luffy was affected by what he heard. But seeing here that he does not even remember the name, it does diminish that scene. Because if Luffy cared, then how come he does not remember the name? Oda needs to trust more his audience. We are not going anywhere. Not everything needs to be a gag, and especially not at the expense of the story. Anyway, while Otsuru was talking, one of the pirates of Kaido heard what she was saying even though he was far away. This was due to his devil fruit power. He has eaten an artificial devil fruit and now he is a Batman. The real Batman and not the one who pretends to be one, and uses their name without their approval. They should copy strike him. While Zoro and Luffy are distracted trying to figure out if Batman is related to Legolas, another devil fruit user appears and kidnaps Tama, and he is very fast. Okiku immediately goes after him, she grabs the sword and jumps on the lion dog. Luffy and Zoro follow her. Then she reveals that she is a samurai, which is weird because I did not expect women to be samurais as well. She looks like a great character, I cannot wait to see more of her. And especially I want to see how samurais fight, and it seems like she will be the first one that we will see. She said that the district that we are heading, 3 headliners reside there: Hawkins, Holdem, and Speed. Gazelle Man is speaking to Holdem and saying that I have captured the girl who did tame the baboon. So this is the reason why they are after Tama. They are interested in her abilities. Holdem looks like he has eaten the lion Zoan type devil fruit, and based on his transformation it does not look to be an artificial devil fruit, but the real one. Since Okiku said that in this district reside 3 headliners, this means that there are more of them. These guys are below the commanders. It seems like they are just like Capone and Tamago are in Big Mom's crew. They are strong, but they are not at the level of the commanders. Based on what is happening right now, it seems like there will be small battles here and there in Wano before that huge final battle when everyone will be part of. And if this is the case, I think it would be great, because this would mean that there will not be detours or someone getting lost or just drag the story just to waste time before reaching that final battle. Anyway, I really am looking forward to the next chapter just as much as Law. Things are getting interesting a lot faster than in Whole Cake Island. But what did you guys think about this chapter? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, like and share if you like this video, subscribe for more One Piece videos, and see you in the next video.